Good morning, Unity. Wonderful to see everyone. Are you all going to help me get this started? All right. Stand up for me, if you will. Let's raise the energy in this room. We're going to sing about choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm walking the road to heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Love. Here we go. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I'm walking the road to love right now. I'm choosing love today. Now beauty. I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. I'm walking the road to beauty right now. I'm choosing beauty today. Grace. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace today. I'm walking the road to grace right now. I'm choosing grace today. One more time. Heaven. Here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. Oh yeah. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm walking the road to heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Good morning, Unity.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity in Chicago. My name is Kathy Mathis. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome each and every one of you here today. In Unity, we bless and embrace people of every lifestyle, culture, and creed, and we honor the many names for God and the many paths to God and the many ways to experience God. And we come together each week to celebrate that for ourselves and with each other. And wherever you are on your spiritual journey, please know you are in exactly the right place, and we are grateful to have you here with us today. So thank you. We come together every week to celebrate that love and joy and truth that lives and expresses through each one of us. So welcome. As we start our service, a couple of things. First of all, please make sure you put your electronic devices into meditation mode. But we do invite you to check in on social media, let people know that you're here, and maybe even invite them to come and join us here as well. And as we start our service, we like to share our daily word with our friends and family all around the world. And today's word is communication. I listen to others with love and respect. Communicating effectively is a skill that I can hone. I do when I remember that I share the same divine intelligence within me as the person I am addressing. Asking myself, what does this soul need, leads me to what to say and how to say it. In this way, I am touching infinite wisdom, and my every word is divinely guided. When Jesus told the disciples that the Spirit would speak through them in times of difficulty, he was illustrating the important truth that no one is separate from divine intelligence. We are all connected with the deepest needs of each other's souls. As I affirm my inner link with my own wise heart, I receive exactly the guidance I need to connect with each soul in my world. And from Matthew 10:20, for it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. So, something to take with us as we go into the world. And for your own daily serenity moment, please feel free to pick up your own copy of the Daily Word. It is available at the information desk, and we have the September-October issue right now, and it is available in both large print and regular print. So please do that. And now let us welcome Reverend Heidi.
Okay, good morning. And thank you for loving yourself enough to come to Unity in Chicago, a place where we call this a community of light, love, and laughter. We call this our home on Thome, so it is the opportunity to feel at home just exactly as you are. And what a great daily word, right? Communication. Who is a communication expert? Just right? Okay. Yes, right? That we're all learning how to communicate, how to listen, how to be heard, how to be compassionate, how to be bold, how to be audacious, as we're talking about in our summer series that we'll conclude today. So I invite you, let's just close our eyes and open our inner eye, and let's breathe in together into this idea of communication from the heart and from the soul. When Jesus told the disciples that the Spirit would speak through them in times of difficulty, he was illustrating the important truth that no one is separate from divine intelligence. We are all connected with the deepest needs of each other's souls. What a wonderful way to see life, to see others, that we are deeply connected by the needs of each other's souls. Maybe that golden rule was really one of the greatest divine principles, to treat others as you want to be treated, to practice the idea of oneness, the idea of acting, what does this soul need? And know that I have it within me to be compassionate, to be understanding, all these 12 powers, to be loving, to have wisdom. We just breathe into knowing all is well. I am present in this breath of life. We don't breathe 10 minutes into the past or 10 minutes into the future, because we're right here, right now. And we are citizens of this world by waking up, and it's just the little things that you do that combine together overwhelm the world. So if you'll repeat after me, I am. We are. God is. And all is well. And we breathe into that truth. Yeah, great. So we had a wonderful group called the Danube Daredevils that went to the Danube, and we had a wonderful group of Unity people and Unity people from Kansas City, and then we had a big group from Chicago, and they were wild and crazy. It was a lot of fun. We get to learn about different cultures, different languages, different ways of doing things, different electric plugs. Yes, we love that. But it was really a wonderful opportunity to continue to recognize how the possibilities of life. There's always a new way to think, a new way to be, new people to connect with, and it helps your consciousness, our spiritual consciousness, just be awake and alive. So we continue. There's a group called Spirit at Sea that is a Unity traveling group, but just however we can explore this world and know that you really are the light of the world, and seeing that in one another. So I'm going to light this candle over here. And that light is just to remind you that it never goes out. You know, there can be things in life that are happening that feel hopeless or confusing. But what we teach here at Unity is you really are the light of the world, and you always have been and always will be. So the idea is to affirm that to be true. So if you'll put your hand on this heart space and just breathe in and reflect on something about yourself, your life, something about which you feel grateful, a person, a pet, this beautiful day, this wonderful community. I recognize you bring that light to it. And we say together, I am the light of the world. Together, I am the light of the world. And take a moment, look at your neighbor. There's just two, maybe three. So and just look at your neighbor and say, you are the light of the world. All right. All right. Hey, Jerry. Good to see Jerry back there. All right, so let us, we're just going to rub our hands together, get that energy going. And put your hands up to this beautiful world, all these wonderful people that are you and you are them. And we say, we are the light of the world 3 times, empowering others to know that truth. We are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. And just breathe into how that feels, knowing that about each other. Is Agnes and John, they're here. Oh my gosh. We won't even think about what time it is in Prague, but I'm glad you're here. Yes, yay. We were wandering around the airport yesterday going, wow. All right. What a wonderful experience it is to be part of Unity, where you get to say yes to what is in your heart to experience. So just so glad to be here. Let's see. Oh, yes, I want to thank everybody that was part of the World Day of Prayer service. I know it was really lovely, and we had the 12 powers. Look at them. So, yeah, let's give all those folks a hand. I tell you, what a group. I mean, that is light. Yeah, so thank you all for being part of that. I know it's a powerful service. And here at Unity is the place where we talk about these 12 powers. So it is the World Day of Prayer, and thank you all for coming together, and Reverend Patty for facilitating that. All right, so we're just so blessed today to have with us one of our own. And I thank you so much for Gretchen for singing again, because when Gretchen was our soloist the first time, I was somewhere. And so I'm so glad you said yes to singing and sharing your heart with us and this wonderful voice. And thank you, Peter and Bill and Sarah. And so let us welcome Gretchen Goodrich.
From the day we arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun, there is more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. There is, some say, eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as they join the stampede. You can never take more than you give in the circle of life. And it moves us on through despair and hope, through faith and love, and we find our way through the path unwinding in the circle of life. Some of us fall to the wayside. Some of us soar to the stars. And some of us sail through our troubles. And some have to live with the scars. There is far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high on the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless ground. It's a circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love.
You rock. I just think you are so amazing. Thank you. Woof. Wow. Simba. All right. Thank you. Oh, wow. Life is really exciting, isn't it? I mean, we watch people like Gretchen who, I've met you when I moved here, and, we've known each other 3.5 years, and I don't want to get upset about this, but you're just, I've seen people just evolve and choose their truth, and I see this power coming through people, and then they come up and they do their thing, and we're all touched, and it's kind of like, you saw that in them, maybe they didn't see it yet, and then you come up and you do this, and it just really, it's like what makes life meaningful to me, and so thank you so much. It makes the whole community work, right? Because we see Gretchen, we're going, like, I can do that thing I'm not sure if I can do, and here she is. So there's another hand, yeah. Or something. So in the circle of life, it's the wheel of fortune, it's the leap of faith, it's the band of hope, till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of life. I finally know this is good news. I used to hate it when people go, well, if you don't get it now, it's going to come back. Just wait, And now I recognize that life keeps teaching me whatever I need to learn over and over again because my soul wants to be free. My soul wants to feel like if I want to sing a song, I can stand up and sing it. If I want to have a conversation, if I want to go on a trip, if I want to write a book, if I want to have a new friend, if I want to, that is in me to do. I wouldn't want it unless it was God moving through me, unless there was a greater vibration of God happening. Now, then the challenge comes that I've learned a lot of things that are not about God. I've learned a lot of things that we all have, that the thing that bumps in to the first experience you have, and I want to, and the first thought of, you can't do that, you don't have any money, you're too old, remember what that ex-partner of yours said about you, right? And so that is what we've been with all summer, is to look at these 12 powers and look at how we've lived often being powerless, right? And powerless is when we use things like drugs, alcohol, dysfunctional relationships, busyness to mask that power rather than living powerfully. It's a whole different way of doing things. It's probably when you first came into Unity, in a way most of us really cried, right? Because it was sort of that, wow, I could have had a V8. I say that a lot. I could have loved myself. I could have really seen God as a supportive, loving, inside cellular experience rather than some, Santa Claus with the naughty list. Wow. Because I think the first thing that happens to us when we start recognizing these powers, we can feel sad sometimes. Like, I really haven't lived my life. I really have selected very small things for myself. I've really not been my own cheerleader. I might be a great cheerleader for other people, but I haven't really been my own cheerleader. So the Fillmores, God bless the Fillmores for their awakening. These are our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle, that developed what they called the 12 powers, which symbolized the 12 disciples that supported Jesus. Do you think Jesus needed support? Yeah. Do you think you need support? Yeah. And I'm still not clear, really how Jesus did it. He's got this great message, very simple, light of God's within you, kingdom of heaven's within you, do your thing, love your life, do your puppets. I see the puppet girl over there. It's Terry. And, do your thing. And then then everybody's mad at him because you're making me uncomfortable because I don't believe I'm worth that. And so you're making me uncomfortable, and now I'm so uncomfortable that I'm going to make you wrong. And none of us ever do that to anybody. But you see how does someone like Jesus maintain his ministry? Right? How do we do this? How do you keep being a devoted parent when your kids are mad at you all the time? And how do you keep being a good teacher when, your students are, not interested in what you're doing all the time or whatever it is. It's how do we maintain? And that's what these powers are about, is how to maintain. Charles Fillmore said, I look at Juan, the Wizard of Oz over there, the knower of all things. Juan. He says, yes, and it works every time. We are to do more than merely perceive the omnipresence of life, because we can really get into like the sunrises and the beauty of nature, but the more than just perceiving it, we need to fulfill the whole law of manifestation. We must speak it into visibility. Speak it into visibility. Live this message. And we had such a great class at 8:45 this morning because we do this at Unity. We really want to hear, help me understand what you want to do in this life. Help me understand what you love. Help me understand that excitement you have. And then let me support you in that. And let me help you not, continue to convince yourself that it won't happen for you. Little things. This is what's so funny. We were about to get on the plane yesterday. I like to sit by the window because I like to sleep. All right, but also I got to get out. Yeah. So I'm always, so I could worry, like, oh, I'm going to have to upset somebody, and I hope they, I can step over them. I do yoga, but come on. And but what I said when I got on the plane, I said, I am going to manifest a small, petite woman that is going to just not mind at all that I need to get out sometime, and going to be just really flexible person. And my group was like, okay, but I'm speaking it. I sound ridiculous. I sound silly to myself, but I'm doing this. So I get on, 18-year-old girl, just came back from Thailand. Just the nicest little person you would ever want to meet. And she was just sitting there with her backpack. She's like, sure, anytime you want to do anything. I love to get up. I'm like, yes. But you know what? I spoke it into visibility. She also really inspired me. She's 18. She just went and spent, lived with a Thailand family and taught English. I'm like, at 18, that is not what I was doing. But you know what? So it was, but I'm just saying, it's the power is, you got to start sometimes with the little things. Like, how would I like this to feel? Now, if I ended up with somebody else, I would have known there was some other thing I was supposed to learn. But I'm glad I didn't have anything else to learn, So she was just it works. It really works because you are that power. You are that experience of God happening. You are the parting of that Red Sea. So what she says, this is Linda Martella-Witsit that wrote of Divine Audacity. We talked about audacity at the beginning of this time, of this series. And what words did we realize that audacity meant? What does audacity mean? Bold. Out of the box. Courageous. Fearless. Yes. The Secret Life of Pets, there's a dog named Gidget. And Gidget is very bold. Yes, so I hear Gidget. Yes. And the other thing that bold, if you look up in the dictionary, it says without preconceived ideas. It says that bold is really living from that place of if I started today, if today was the first day of my life, what would I create? And it's always going to feel uncomfortable because you haven't done it before. It's the silliest thing talking about the person I wanted to sit by. It felt silly to say it, but I knew that that's how I wanted to feel about what was going to happen to me for 8 hours on that plane. All right. So what is being said here and what is true is that you don't use one power, that you also almost use 12 powers simultaneously. Can you understand that? That many powers are used together. Love is really good when you couple it with wisdom, right? Judgment is really good when you couple it with compassion, right? So there's a lot that go together. So I wanted to talk about a story of a man named Robert that was in the book. And I'd like you to relate to Robert. It's a metaphor, all right? So Robert was living in a efficiency. It was a story that was, there's Robert. Okay, yes, you can really listen, you. But he was living in a very small apartment and a studio, and he didn't have running water, and he was really unhappy, but he stayed there. Anybody ever stay in the situation, relationships that aren't working for you, or jobs that don't work for you, or you got a health challenge and you're just not willing to work on it? Anybody ever done that? Don't raise your hand. So anyway, so Robert's living in this situation. He had some attachment there also because of his mom had either been there before, or there was some feeling that he had about needing to stay there in remembrance of her. He didn't want to bother his landlord, all these things. So Robert had an awakening. He had attended a Unity church. He doesn't say that, but I'm sure that's what happened. And so it says, pick any power and explore its value in the circumstances of your life, or reflect on the value of each of the powers available to you in every circumstance. Let's revisit the story of Robert. Recall that Robert had been living in a cramped studio apartment where the air conditioning and heating systems were broken. For years, he'd be unwilling to ask his landlord for needed repairs or consider relocating. He lived in fear of losing the little that he had. Anybody relate to that? Let's imagine how Robert could and perhaps did call upon his spiritual powers in the midst of his circumstances, all right? Okay, so let's look at what Robert... Okay, see, first he had to ask. He had to get into faith. And he had to say, is it possible? Is it possible for me to consider that I could live somewhere that's more safe, that's more spacious? He had to ask himself that. Do I believe it's possible? Faith. It's a good thing to just ask yourself, is it possible? And he took this leap of faith just to believe. Most people, we scare ourselves because we think, oh my gosh, I've got to move right now. I've got to pack up. I've got to have this all figured out. And that's not what faith is at all. It's the ability to say, am I willing to believe? Am I willing to believe? The second thing, he had to have understanding. He had to comprehend why he was there, right? He had attachments from his mom. He also was afraid to inconvenience his landlord. But he recognized that this was this error state of consciousness. Isn't it great when you're in the midst of something and you realize, oh, the reason I'm here is because I feel so much lack in my life. That's maybe why I'm in a job that doesn't pay me correctly, or I'm in a relationship that doesn't really feed me. All right, so the next thing he does is he has to be willing. Isn't it important just to do something? I don't want to really get into it, but we had a theft while we were in Prague, and we had to be willing. It was not on the tourist map, but Gabby and I spent 2 hours at the Prague police station. Yes, but we had to be willing, and because we were willing to, and they were so funny. I was like, I didn't see this on our tourist thing today, but we had to be willing to fill out the paperwork, right? So what is it that you need to be willing to, just an action step, right, in your life when you're considering using your powers? So the next part of this, of using power, is imagination. He began envisioning how great it would be to have running water, a heater. I know we laugh at this, but seriously, haven't you just been amazed to see how you can barely envision what you want? We have somebody that's moving in our congregation, and we were asking her, what do you want? Where would you like to go? Because she doesn't want to be in her house. And then we said, tell us about that vision, and it starts pouring out of her mouth. So the idea with Robert had to envision where he wanted to be. He had to start thinking about running water. Yay, Robert. And heat and air conditioning, and how that would feel for him. And then he would sit there and just feel what it would feel like by having these things that he wanted. He said, this is my new home and I can see myself here. Then he needed to call on zeal. He needed to change this sort of dull resignation, who really is motivated around me, life, I'm going to turn on the news. And he needed to get into enthusiasm, like this feels good to have a new home. Then he needed to call on worthiness, his sense of being worthy. We realized in our class today that a lot of why people stay in situations where they're not happy and they're not feeling alive is they don't feel worthy. Maybe you grew up around folks that just really we don't deserve this. We're sinners. I mean, what do sinners deserve? I don't know, right? So we have to be willing to receive, to feel worthy. And then this power, he had to call upon this inner ability to live in a safe and functional space. The power to call that in. He had to work on self-mastery. He called on love, recognizing that this bond with his mother was eternal. It didn't have anything to do with the house, with the space. It was that love was eternal. He called upon wisdom. When his thoughts slipped into scarcity, he had to think about spiritual discernment. So when your thoughts slip into scarcity, do you call them back? Do you say, that's why we use our affirmations, to call it back, that I am manifesting a new and wonderful home. He then called in the sense of strength. He tirelessly reestablished his stability when he caught himself slipping into past patterns of thinking. He wrote his rent check. He filled out his lease. And then he called to order, reflecting on the evolution of his own life experience and that he was willing to receive what was good. Then he called upon release. He had to let go of all of the things that were not part of his well-being, and he had to give up stagnation and paralysis caused by scarcity thinking. Anybody ever felt paralyzed? And finally, life flowed back into Robert's life, the last power. And listen to what happened here. He became more alive. He dreamed again. He desired again. He hoped again. He began again to enjoy his natural vitality. See, what we're doing, friends, when we are using these 12 powers is we are blessing the world because we are living in a way that is generous, is open, is spacious. It says then that Robert actually asked people over to his house. Whoa, he had some friends. He started developing friends, and he started having people in his life. So does it sound important to use your 12 powers? Yeah, kind of like you can't live your life without them. So the idea is, where is it in your life that you feel that it's too cramped, it's too small, it's not honoring you? And how is it that you can start using these 12 powers to let life be different? Get a new car. Rosie got a new car, right? Are you happy? Yeah, see, it's just, and we missed you without your car, right? So the point is that this is all just this natural experience that Jesus was teaching, and how easy it is to get in this cramped space and say, this is all I deserve. And people, the old religions love those martyrs. Oh, I'm just here and I'm suffering. It's like, whoa, what is that? All right. So we had an interesting trip in that we met the Unity people with our daily word every day as much as we could. And we, so it wasn't every day, it was about 3 or 4 times. And we talked about this powerfulness, appreciating a trip. Have you ever been on a trip and you're worried about your work or what was happening to one of your family members, or you're like obsessed with something else and you're not even present on the trip? So we met on 9/11. And I thought this would be a great time to talk about how we get beyond this sense of us and them, how we can live in this powerful way around a very difficult situation. And I talked about living on Maui on 9/11, and when I woke up, the whole thing, had happened, and my roommate was like, you won't believe what's going on, and we looked at the television, and we talked. The tourism business died in that moment. Nobody came to Maui for about a month. But the thing was, we just really sat there in this sense of how important it was to feel this connectedness and this love and feel what we were feeling, with the sadness about this sense of separation and pain. And there was a couple that was supposed to be married that day. And I called them. I said, so what do you want to do? They said, well, come on, let's meet at the beach and we can talk about it. And so I met them at the beach. They said, you know what? We want to be married today. We want this day to stand for love. We want to be about love on this day. And I was so moved by them. It was just the 2 of them. It was just the 3 of us. And as I was telling this story in our group, I started to cry. I hadn't even thought about this couple for a long time. And I thought, what a teaching, using that power that they had of commitment to each other and love to say, we're shifting this energy. And there was another gentleman that was in our group. He's one of the tour leaders. And he said, I live in New York. And I had 2 friends die in the World Trade Center. And he said, I was so sad about that. And then he said the whole thing got political, and it just made me mad. He said, I didn't want to talk about it anymore. I didn't want to talk about them. I just shut down. He said, I just didn't want to talk about it. And he said, years later, some friends came to visit me and wanted to go to Ground Zero and see the memorial. And he said, I didn't want to go. And they talked me into going. And he said, so I went. And our tour guide was a woman that was so optimistic and was talking about, the appreciation of the people and the memorial and all the things they've done. And she was so uplifting. And he said, we were wandering around with her and she was showing us everything. And then she pointed at a name on this long list and she said, that's the name of my husband. She said he was a firefighter and was a first responder and came to, the tragedy and was killed. And she said, but he's a lover of trees. And I asked if we could plant trees. And she goes, and that tree represents my husband. And he loved trees. And she said, and I'm so inspired that they have this tree and this memorial. And my friend, sort of like me, hadn't really processed what was going on for him. And all of a sudden, he just started weeping. And he said, this woman who's lost her husband is there with this grace and joy and peace and appreciation. And here I'm like mad about my friends and not wanting to come to this memorial. And he couldn't even talk for a while. He was crying so hard. And afterward, he said, I'm so grateful we've met because I didn't even know that was going on with me. I would not have even had that experience had we not come together. I wouldn't have realized. I didn't even realize that at the time I was there with her. And what occurred to me was these 12 powers, we use them when we're upset, when we're stuck, when we're in crisis, when we're in this small little cramped area of life. The powers, when you're using them, you don't even know you need to use them because you're using them. So the opportunity is that when you're feeling this sense of small and cramped, or when we come together and we sort of keep loving each other, to sing your song and to talk and tell your story, that's where the powers start to be used. So I invite you to look at the place in your life that is just asking you to, what is it? What power? What is the space that all you have to do is be willing. I'm willing. Is it possible for this to be different? Because it always is. It always is. And we come together to help one another have that time of waking up. Nelson Mandela, that was in prison for 26 years, came out of prison, and he said this. He said, as I walked out of the door toward my freedom, I knew that if I did not leave all the anger, hatred, and bitterness behind, I would still be in prison. Right? 26 years in prison. And the idea is that the spirit in us, the power in us, cannot be touched, ever, ever. And so whatever I have learned, this circle of life, that whatever's happening in your life, in your community, even in this church, whatever's going on in your life, it is the opportunity to say, how am I not life happening to me, but life's happening through me? I am really the place where awakening is happening. And I guarantee you, and come talk to me, talk to a chaplain, talk to people here, because we'll help you see how it works. Janella came in at the beginning of our class just in tears around something going on in her life. And today she was proclaiming in this powerful way about how it's all working out and coming together. So this works, but we have to be willing to say, I'm showing up for my powerfulness. We have an affirmation. This is what unity's based on, is affirming. And if you don't want to say this, just be with the energy of other people saying it, all right? I am spiritually intelligent. Understanding is my nature. I rely upon my powers of comprehension, realization, and insight. And understanding enlightens me. I easily release negativity. I am audaciously divine. Let's breathe into this truth. Jesus said, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. When times are tough and the light appears dim, it helps me to remember that I've come into this world to be the light of the world. It helps to focus attention each day on my spiritual abilities. It helps to study and cultivate them, especially when the light appears so bright, so that in times of darkness, the light can overcome the dark. Daily spiritual practice makes this possible. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said it in this way. It's my favorite quote. People are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but when the darkness sets in, their true beauty is revealed only if there is a light from within. Yes. All right. I'm speaking to powerful lights of the world. I've dared us all to be the light of the world, and thank you for taking on that challenge. You said at the beginning, I'm in. So I'd like you to say again, if you're in being this light of the world and the light that shines from within, say, I'm in. I'm in. And look at your neighbor and say, I'm in. I'm in. All right, there you go. All right. Give yourselves a big hand, all right? So we're going to open our heart to sweet surrender as we sing together. Just recognizing that within you, my friend talking about ground zero was so pivotal in that something in all of us wants to move, wants to be softened, wants to be released. Usually comes with tears. The heart opens and the eyes leak. So allow yourself to just be open, be willing, be that light of the world. So we're going to sing Sweet Surrender, and we'll all sing it together once, and then this section will start, and then you all will come, and we'll be doing this round together. And as we're singing, I'd like you to recognize the sounds, that this is how community works together. We may be on different notes, but we all blend together. So we breathe in. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. breathe into that wide open space. So life is about movement. It's about evolution. It's about being powerful and recognizing that everyone is powerful on a spiritual level. So we know this circle of life is there for our awakening. It's for our pruning. It's for our well-being. We don't want to avoid it. We don't want to miss it. We don't want to push it away. We want to allow it. We really want to live like these spiritual masters. All of them came and said, this is yours to do also. And so we recognize, I'd like you to reflect on a spiritual master in your life and someone that you admire, and hold that energy not only for them but for yourself. Sometimes we can see powerful as this place of having masks or some kind of defense, and it's not the truth at all. I could recognize that you came as a little child, little baby, just like Simba. And if you're able, I'd like you to consider holding this little child that is you in your hands. You can even put your hands out. Just recognize that little child that is you. And if you're able, and if not, just keep your hands in your lap. Go on and raise your hands up, like Simba. Raising that little child up to know that you are the light of the world. You are the perfect, irreplaceable, unrepeatable light of the world. And feel that joy and that authentic audaciousness. All right, you can lower your hands and just love that child. And in fact, go on and put your hands on your heart and let that sweet, innocent nature be in your heart, right there with you all the time. Just listening deeply to what is your truth. It's going to change, it's going to evolve, but it's fun, and it's playful, and it's innocent, and it's real. And it is audacious. If you repeat after me, the power in me is greater than anything in the world. I allow my life to unfold easily and effortlessly, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, one thought at a time. And we breathe into that allowing, and we sing together. We'll sing it together, the 2 verses of Sweet Surrender. And you may as well hold the hand of your spiritual family as we sing this together.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am
to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. So into that very open and loving space, let us speak the names, situations that you want to release into prayer. We know the moment that prayer is released, where prayer is held in your heart, it is answered. And so we see that individual, that situation, in peace and in love. We bless this community, this group gathered here today. Everyone is here by divine appointment. We bless this community and the people that are not here, and this space, and where we get to come together and celebrate the freedom we have to live in a way of being spiritually awake. We bless our staff, our volunteers, our ministers, our music team, anyone that's been part of this particular service and all the services we have here. So we bless our world, and we recognize that we want all of our systems that make this world work. Let's bless these systems of ecology and of love and caretaking of people and each other. So we just surround this world in white light. So we breathe in, and if you'll repeat after me, I am. We are. God is. And all is well. All right. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so we're just really fortunate to have with us chaplains today, that people that have devoted to learning prayer and praying in the unity way, and are there to assist you in recognizing the powerfulness of you today. So the chaplains that are here today are, I believe, Rosie Banks and Eva Jackson, and oh my gosh, and Holly. Wow, it's like, whoa, we got a line. All right, and Tom Skinner. So you all, they're all beautiful souls here. You can't miss the light radiating out from the Fillmore room. So go afterward and pray with these great souls. All right, so I suppose we'll celebrate our abundance at this moment. And, oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I really, this is clearly, you all do this much better than I do. There are names that are up on the screen that are the folks that have asked for prayer, or people that we put on that know that they're in prayer. So just hold everyone here. Let's just take a moment to look at these names, bless these great souls. And also know that you are welcome to have a wellness call. That is one of the services that the chaplains provide in their beautiful giving of their time. So there's a sign-up sheet upstairs and downstairs at the prayer table, and you just put your name, and we will assign a chaplain to you, and it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. All right, so now we're going to celebrate even more our abundance, and giving from that place of gratitude, and just knowing that we continue to be good stewards of this beautiful home that is yours, and this beautiful property, and all that goes on here. There's so much that goes on here, and just know you're not only blessing yourself, but all the many, many people that come through these doors. So we put our hands together. You can bless that love offering. Some people give electronically. You can get on our program called Abundant Life, where it's a recurring giving program. And that just, don't even have to write a check. So, all right, so we breathe into this sense of wellness and appreciation, and we say together our gratitude affirmation. Divine love richly flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way. And take it away, Gretchen. Oh.
All right. Feel free to do the hand motions if you feel inspired to do that. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. 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 Let's do it again. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. Oh, I feel it. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Do you feel it? I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
All right. Ooh. All right. Randy, I am glad to see you. I tell you. He's an 11:30 guy. Don't worry, next week we're going back. You're going to be so happy. All right. All right. So let's see here. Okay. So let's breathe into how easy it is to feel generous, how easy it is to feel connected and divine and inspired. So we give from that place. Prosperity is my way of life. Let's say it together. Prosperity is my way of life. Abundance is my natural state of being. I give generously. I receive gratefully. And so it is. And we bless these offerings, and we know they do wonderful work in the world. Come right back into your lives. Thank you. Barb, it's good to see you. Okay, I am going to be on this thing. Okay, set my books right there. Drats. Okay, all right, thank you, Peter. I don't move without music. All right, okay. All right, okay. So, I know I'm home, I'm like, where's the music? All right, okie dokie. All right, so Thursday, let me just tell you about some upcoming things. Thursday, we're going to start a class that is called The Soul of Money. And it is a prosperity class, but it's not going to be your traditional prosperity class. We're going to not only talk about your relationship with money, but we're going to talk about your relationship with the world and the systems that support this world. So it's about being generous, but it's really looking at sort of how money gets generated in the world. So it's bringing ecology and economy together. Lynn Twist, that wrote this book, has been in the Amazon where people don't even deal with money, and she's worked with billionaires. And so she has a fascinating approach to how we are trained in this culture to be all about earning rather than living. Yeah? So I really invite you to come. It's 12 weeks. You can come to as many or as little as you can, but you do need to get the book. And so we will have a wonderful journey with true prosperity and how to really get involved with systems that are doing great things in the world. Please read your bulletin. We have everything in there. We are taking another trip next May. It's a transatlantic crossing, so it's less expensive because they're moving the boat. So it's 7 days at sea as a seminar, and then we're going to the Canary Islands and Barcelona. So a $450 completely refundable deposit before September the 30th. You can get $100 off your cabin, and it's so fun to spend time with Unity people. And it's a fundraiser for the church in addition. At least $100 from each person comes back in, so you just know you're already giving. We're starting next week. We're going to 2 services. Half the people wanted to, half the people didn't want to. Survey says. But anyway, so for you folks that wanted to, it's 9:30. Get here. Yes, yay. And then tell your people about that 11:30 service. That's the one that really needs support. So 11:30 service for all you late folks. Yes, Diane, and yes. I know a number of you. Yes, I know. I always say they're my people because they had breakfast, they had coffee. Yeah, so it'll be really exciting, but we're starting a gratitude series. It's going to lead into our gala, but we're going to use each letter, GRATEFUL. I can spell. And it's going to be 8 weeks talking about gratitude. Oh, so what I want to do is we're going to have a testimonial every week in the bulletin, one of you telling us your gratitude story about Unity in Chicago. And Diane Valletta's going first. I already told her on that 8-hour airplane ride. Start writing something. But we're going to have so if you'll send in a testimonial to Tammy@unitychicago.org, it needs to be less than 150 words. And we're going to, because y'all's stories are the amazing stories. So we want to be all about gratitude. We're having our Unity Singers concert. Mark your calendar for all these amazing singers at Unity. Come together one night, Friday, October the 6th at 7:30. It is an extraordinary night. They all donate their time, so we can just give, Peter and Sarah and Bill a hand right now because they're volunteering their time for this. Yes. All right. Okay, the other big thing. So next Sunday we have 2 services, and then the next Monday, and DC has told me he'll never speak to me again. Bingo, Monday night bingo at Hamburger Mary's. You got to come. It's so much fun. It's a fundraiser for the church. There's prizes. There's all kinds of fun things. So that's Monday the 25th. Okie dokie. So now Kathy is going to talk to us. Yes. There you go, Kathy, yay, all right, let me get my stuff out of here.
Okay, the first thing I get to do is welcome the newcomers. So we are especially grateful if you are here for the first or second or third time today. And so if you are, we have a tiny little gift we'd like to share with you. If you'll raise your hand so our ushers can find you, that will be awesome. Terrific, terrific. Over here. Over here, behind, yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, so the people who are passing out the flowers are members of our welcome team, and they have on pink badges, and they are available to welcome you and answer any questions after the service. Also, with your flower, you are getting a little welcome packet with information about Unity Chicago, and it includes a visitor's card. I have faith that it includes a visitor's card. And so if you will take that card to the Sunshine Gallery, which is right over here, you will get your free and fancy Unity tote bag. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so please stop by the Sunshine Gallery and pick up the tote bag. And if you have any questions, please let us know. If anyone has any questions, please see one of these welcome team members and let them know, because we want everybody to be engaged and participating in our fabulous community. So, welcome. All right, today's flowers are generously donated by Michelle Small and Mark Burns. And I don't believe they are here, but at any rate, it is in gratitude for that Unity Chicago welcome team. So, and here's their note. Thank you to the Welcome Team for helping to make Unity such a welcoming place and for donating Hamilton tickets to last year's live auction at the gala. It was such a big hit that the Unity board is donating a pair of tickets, great seats, for this year's live auction. Thank you, thank you. So thank you to the Welcome Team. And of course, thank you to Mark and Michelle for donating the beautiful flowers. So if you would like to donate flowers for your special occasion, October 8th is available, as well as some additional fall dates. So you can stop by the information desk or email Mickey@unitychicago.org to reserve your dates. Okay. And just a couple of other reminders. First of all, the pet ministry is here each Sunday with pets in need of both foster and forever homes. And Carol Stiegel here has more information on how to take in a pet or how to otherwise support the wonderful ministry. And okay, this gal is up for adoption, and they'll be back here after this service. Also, Pranic Healing returns today from their summer break. They will be in the library at 12:15. The library is downstairs. Our monthly Taizé service is offered on the third Wednesday, and so it will be held this Wednesday, September 20th at 7 o'clock. You can come at 6:15 for a 30-minute weekly meditation and make it a full evening of reflection. So we invite you to do that. Therese Murphy will be holding another astrology discussion this Wednesday, September 20th at 7 o'clock in the library. Tickets are $20 and are available at the Unity table or at the door the night of the event. This Friday, September 22nd, the Chicago Didgeridoo Chorus is holding their International Fall Equinox Meditation, and that, once again, is this Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening. Also, we encourage you to stay connected to Unity in a few ways through the week. First of all, you can regularly visit unitychicago.org. You can sign up for our e-newsletter at the base of the stairs or at any Unity table, and be sure to read that. And please read your bulletins and take those with you to refer to through the week. And now let's welcome back Rev Heidi.
Don't welcome me. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. So I did, but thank you. Man, are you efficient? I love it. All right. So I just want to tell you, October 1st is our next Unity 2020 meeting, and what we're doing is really taking looks at our building, and then this meeting will be a lot about just feedback from the congregation. But I did want Dan Ray to share something that we're currently working on, because I just want you all to know what's underground. All right. Okay. So microphone went. Is he right there? Okay.
Hello. Oh.
Yeah, so this
Hi
is
there.
Dan Ray.
I'm not sure if everybody's aware, but back in April, we turned our boiler off. And we didn't have heat. We still don't have heat today. We're in the process of making repairs. They were here last week. We turned the boiler on, and we found a few more. So we're going to chase those down this week. In the past, it seems all of our repairs were just to make it work and get another week or another season out of it. And I think we've hit the limit of that. The plumbing in the building is old. It's 95 years old. But we're probably 40 or 50 years past renewing it. So that's a credit to John Cavanis. He's stretched it out. I have some pieces of pipe to show you. Anybody can come up and ask me any questions, give me direction. I'm all ears. I'll let you know when our heat actually works. So. Thank God it is summertime. The air works. So, all right.
And now let's welcome back Gretchen Goodrich.
All right, Unity, we know this one. We love this one. If you all want to get up and dance, please do. If anybody feels inspired to come behind me and dance, that's all good too. All right, let's go. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by, and we fight just like birds of a feather. I can tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say, oh yeah, come on, and they be that close. Just let me stand for the record. We're giving love and a family does. We are family. Come on. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, all right, Howdy, and sing. Living life is fun, and we just begun to get our share of the world's delights. High hopes we have for the future and our goals inside. No, we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You can go on, come on. This is our family jewel. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Let's sing unity. We are unity. Family. I got all my family with me. Unity. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are unity. Oh yeah. I got all my family with me. Oh, we are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. One more time. We are unity. I got all my family with me. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are unity.
I forgot, we are having a bake sale downstairs, so you all tell us about it. Here we go. Whoa. Support the kids. Oh.
What are you doing?
Just enjoying some baked goods.
Zoe, we're in the sanctuary.
There's a lot of them, so we gotta you know.
Where did you get them?
They're all downstairs.
Can I have some?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not any of mine, but you can get them.
How much are they?
I pay what you can. Don't worry about it.
What do you have, though?
Well, we have cupcakes, gluten-free options, cookies, brownies, and fresh baked fruit.
We made them ourselves. Come join us downstairs after the service.
The proceeds fund the retreats that we go on, and we'd love to have you guys come visit us downstairs. Have some food.
Great, thank you.
All right, let's close in our usual way. Let's
All right.
Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together together.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.